Live a hell of a life, you only live once. I don't think I can do this shit twice. Trying to heal for money, but I don't think I'm doing this shit right. They wanna see me stunt, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Everybody knows me as Sadiq, or my podcast name is Graphic. But I'm gonna speak on several different points, man, in relation to at-risk youth. I mean, of course, I was one. A lot of the guys that I run into in prison were seemingly the same. But I stated, man, it's March 30th, and it's 2 decades into my incarceration, man. It seems like it's never ending. Uh, First point that I like to speak on, man, is the decision making. As a young man, a lot of our decision making seems rushed or seems without thought. Uh, Lack of a better term, what do you call it? Impatient, and we want what we want, and sometimes, man, it's not even what we want. Sometimes it's peer pressure. Sometimes it's what our friends want, and we just want what they want at times. And then we make a lot of bad decisions, man. So uh, I remember. Let's speak on. I'm actually incarcerated for. I remember when I went stole these dirt bikes. If you ever listen to my show, you're familiar with my charge. Uh, I went and stole these particular dirt bikes and four wheelers. Even before I did it, like we always have these. If you're paying attention to yourself, these aha type of moments, like you know that you're not supposed to be doing it. Everybody has it. I don't care who you think you are. Everybody has it, man. It's something that's speaking to you, saying like, man, like your conscience, so to speak, like, man, asking you, like, man, what are you doing? So, uh, as a child, man, I used to ignore it, even though I heard it and it was speaking to me. I used to ignore it all the time, man. And it used to tell me, man, don't touch that. I guess, so to speak, used to always say, man, don't do that, don't touch that. Like that's not going to end well, man. But I used to do it all the time, man. I just never thought about the consequences, man. Like, growing up, I'm certain a lot of us got spankings or popped on a hand or some type of disciplinary response from the things that we were doing that were wrong. So, I mean, as far as the decision making goes, man, I actually just use that as a tool and some type of mechanism to assist you in your thought process when you're doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing. Like, man, when you're in the house and you were a kid, man, I mean, some of you are still a lot younger than what I'm thinking about. I mean, a little older than what I'm thinking about in mine, but just think about it as that 5 or 6 year old kid, man, and you know that your mom or your dad is gonna maybe pop you on the hand or you're gonna get a spanking or something for the things that you're doing, man. So sometimes it makes you not do what you're doing. Like, man, when you out and about, when you running the streets or you doing what you're doing, man, just think about that. Like, man, this may cause for a little more than a pop on the hand or a lashing with a belt, man. Like, man, I never thought that I would be in prison for the remainder of my life. But doors are opening for me, and it's still a struggle. Every day is a struggle, man. Every day I'm trying to find a way to relieve myself of the punishment, man, that I brought upon myself. But like to change course, though, man. Speak on other things, man, and the identity crisis. A lot of us, a lot of us don't know who we are at this age, man. So we're seemingly following other people, man, which is your peers, man, the guys that you so-called look up to, the ones that you're hanging out with. You just want to fit in. Like, man, create your own circle, man. Allow them guys to want to fit into what you're doing. I never thought like that as a youth, man, as a young man, but I wish I did though, man. Just allow a person to want to fit into what you doing, man. Be that unique person, man. To just make everybody just say, hey, man, whatever he got going on, that's what I want to be a part of, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I think that's what sets the tone, man, and makes us individuals, man. Allowing other people to see what you're doing, man. But I never, I never did that. Like, man, whatever everybody else is doing, whatever my homeboys is doing, man, that's what I wanted to do. Like, man, good, bad, didn't make a difference. Harmful to myself, harmful to others. Like, I never even thought about any of it. I just, if it was entertaining, if I thought it was gonna be fun, and I was with it. But it seamlessly allows me to go on to the next topic, man, which is the role models, man. A lot of the guys that we look up to, that without even knowing it, without acknowledging it, they're molding you. Like, I used to look up to my uncle all the time, man, and my mother used to try to keep me away from him. But at the same time, I needed some type of male figure. I mean, my father was there, but and it's like, I mean, as far as him being there, it was like having a bowl or a cup in the house. Just because it's in the house don't mean it's there for you. I mean, if that makes sense. It's like he just existed. He was never really active or a positive influencer in the household. Like, it was never anything good coming from him. But as far as the role models, man, I used to follow my uncle around, and my mother used to try to keep him from me because he was always into a bunch of negative things, man. He was always hustling. He was always out and about. He was a womanizer and things of that nature, man. I thought that was cool. I thought it was a little intriguing to me, so to speak. But I used to want to do that. Like, I got a kick out of it. I got a kick out of watching him do it. It was like watching a movie to me. So, I mean, uh, a lot of those things that he taught me and that I picked up assisted me in me finding myself in prison, man. Well, I mean, whether a person wants to believe it or not, because things that you think are cool, that those negative things, they become first nature for you. You just do it without even thought process anymore. It's like passing gas, man. It doesn't seem like it's wrong. Like, you're just doing it. Like, I just farted, okay. But it just becomes a part of your nature. Like, man, you just think that it's normal, and it's not normal. Like, I use this for instance, man. Like, I remember having a conversation with my mother before, and during that conversation, the guy on the tier started to get stabbed. So a lot of the guys that were on the tier were laughing because the guy fell, and like, the dude continuously stabbing him. Like, even though the guy fell, everybody thought that was amusing. So my mother asked the question, like, what's going on? Why everybody laughing? And I said, like, man, somebody's getting stabbed, and he just fell. So she was asking me, like, why is that amusing? Like, how do you find that funny? Like, there's something seriously wrong with that. But these are the things that transpires when you take on the wrong role models. A lot of the things that you see all the time, I want I hate to put it this way, but they make you they they dehumanize you. They kind of make you a little heartless, man. Like, to the experiences that you run across. It makes it normal, and it's not. Like, if you were on the street and you seen somebody getting stabbed, like, would you laugh? Like, if you look at it like that, would you find it humorous then? Like, and it's like, man, it goes back to what I said. Like, man, a lot of stuff that I've seen made these things okay, and it shouldn't be. But uh, I would like to move on to a next point, man. But uh, the death, like someone lost their life in my case. Two people. One of them actually a friend of mine in a car accident, and another was a school teacher. They lost their life in a car accident. I mean, it's a blessing I'm still here, but it's sad that they aren't, and their families are missing them. But uh, death doesn't always come in the sense of someone losing their life. Death comes from relationships ending, uh, some of those emotions that normal people will have, they die off. Like you hear things, or so to speak, like I just spoke on, man. When you see things, it's normal to you, and it's not okay. Like for instance, seeing that guy get stabbed, that was normal to me. Like man, like a part of me, a part of you dies. Like while you're here, man. It it kind of tears you down. You got to rebuild yourself. So uh, I lost some people that I loved. I lost some girlfriends. I lost fiancées. I've lost a lot, and all of it felt like part of me. I was losing a part of myself in those transitions, man. So then you start to feel alone. Like you start to feel like confined to your own mind. Like you start to feel like you have nobody left, or you start to question a lot of things. Everything starts to make you angry, and then the only emotion that you have left is your anger or your fear, so to speak, man. And mine is, and when I speak of the fear, mine is in the sense of not being able to make it out of here, man. With a life sentence like this, it's always a fear of not making it home. But like it's a little hard to even talk about, man. But uh, start to start to miss a part of yourself. Like when I lost my fiance, I didn't realize until until that actually happened. And she introduced me to the ability to love, and among other things, man. When I lost her, I lost my grandmother. Like I really didn't realize how much of myself that I was missing. Because I didn't cry when I lost my grandmother like I felt like I should have, because she was a major part of the family. I didn't really have any emotions toward death. Like, and that's when I started to notice that I was losing myself. I was losing a part of myself, not to have any emotions toward that, man, because that lady assisted in raising me, man. A lot of my characteristics I got from her. Uh, what I mean by characteristics, uh, the traits that I picked up from my grandmother, man. There weren't a lot of men relevant in my life, man, or around. So I had to pick up things from some of the women, man, the men that were around, man. A lot of the traits that they portrayed, man, I don't think that they were uh, suitable things to carry on throughout your life, man, throughout my life. But uh, grandmother showed so much strength. And, at the same time, she was stern, patient. She just held the family together, man. That's pretty much what structured me, what reared me, man, which showed me what to be, man. I mean, taught me what to be, so to speak. At that age, of course, I learned other things on my own throughout my travels, man. But those are the points that I was raised off of, man. But long story short, man. Uh, to close this out, man. I've been talking a long time, man. To close this out, man. Uh, sometimes as youth, man, we may not always have what we want, man, but you got to make the best of it, man. Good, good that you have around you, man. Take notice of that, man. The bad, just see it and let it go, man. Try to put it behind you. So it's more easier said than done, because I carry a lot of things from my youth and still with me to this day, man. As a 35-year-old man, but uh, for the young men that want to be outside, hanging out, hustling, man, believing the mantra, man. It's enough money for everybody. And I used to live the same way, man. Try to change that mantra, man. Try to look at it like, man, it's enough success for everybody, man. You don't got to do what you're doing, man. Technology is presenting a lot of the youth with a lot of different opportunities, man. You got millionaires as kids right now, man. They're doing a bunch of different things, but try to change your mantra, man. Let's look at what you do got, man, not what you don't got, man. I know it's easier said than done, man. Especially being a youth in an environment, man. We and all that's around us, especially where I grew up, it's a lot of poverty, man. You see hurt on top of hurt, pain on top of pain. But and if I can leave you with anything, man, I got for you, man. Try to see the best in your situation, man. It gets better. Wanting to get better, it gets better, man. Man, I got for you, man. I hope I can reach somebody through my story or any of the messages that I portrayed in this video, man. Listen,